Have you ever wanted to learn something new or build something incredible, but you just felt stuck? Like you had too many ideas, too much information, or just no idea where to even begin?
Oh, Jamie, you're describing my Tuesday afternoon, every Tuesday actually. I'll dive into a new hobby, say learning to bake a perfect sourdough bread. I'll buy 5 cookbooks, watch countless videos, read scientific articles on yeast fermentation, and then I'm so overwhelmed by all the how-tos and what-ifs that I never actually make a single loaf. The flour just sits there, judging me.
Exactly. That feeling of being paralyzed by too much information, or what we sometimes call information overload or overlearning, is a common challenge for so many of us curious minds. We think that the more we know, the better prepared we'll be, but often it just leads to doing nothing at all.
It's true. I feel like I'm constantly collecting puzzle pieces, but I never actually put the puzzle together.
Well, today we're going to share a powerful secret, a different way of approaching learning and problem solving. It's called lean learning, and it's all about getting unstuck, moving from inspiration to action, and building a life where almost anything you want to achieve becomes possible. It's about learning smarter, not just harder.
Lean learning. I like the sound of that. Like a lean, mean learning machine. But how does it actually work? My brain usually goes straight to more books, more videos, more everything.
Let me tell you a story that really brought this idea home for me. Imagine a classroom full of bright, energetic young minds, all under the age of 5. One hot California day, a big ant problem forces them to eat lunch outside, directly in the blazing sun. Not ideal, right?
Definitely not. No one wants ants in their lunch or a sunburn on their nose.
Right. So, their teacher, a wonderful person we'll call Miss Jenny, pauses their afternoon. Instead of just complaining or doing nothing, she turns it into a real-world project. She asks, "What should we do about this?"
Oh, I see where this is going. Brainstorming time.
Exactly. The kids shout out all sorts of ideas. Some were, well, a little wild, like, "Let's just eat the ants for lunch," or "Can we go to a fancy restaurant every day?" But Miss Jenny wrote every idea down on sticky notes and put them on a big whiteboard. No idea was silly, no one was judged. It was pure, unfiltered creativity.
That's a brave teacher.
She truly was. After they had a big collection of ideas, Miss Jenny gently guided them towards one clear solution. They needed to build a sunshade. That very evening, she sent out an email asking for donations of old blankets, PVC pipes, and other basic materials. The next morning, a huge pile of supplies appeared.
So the grown-ups gathered the materials and then the kids watched?
Not at all. This is the most amazing part. By the end of that same day, when parents arrived for pickup, there it stood. 2 8-foot-tall sunshade banners made of blankets, framed with PVC pipe held together with duct tape, anchored by sandbags. And the incredible truth? These young minds, none older than 5, built the entire thing themselves. Whoa, they went from ants in our pants to a fully constructed sunshade in a single day. That's astounding. Most adult committees I've been on would still be debating the optimal shade to sun ratio a week later. And that's precisely the point of lean learning. These young builders weren't paralyzed by needing to know everything about construction or sun protection. They didn't read an entire encyclopedia on PVC piping. They didn't spend weeks researching the perfect fabric for UV resistance. They identified a clear problem, gathered just enough essential knowledge to take the first step, and then they dove in and got to work. They experimented, learned as they went, and adapted. They trusted the process of doing.
So it's not about knowing all the answers up front, but just knowing enough to get started and then figuring it out as you go?
Precisely. Think of it like this. Imagine you want to build an amazing treehouse in your backyard. Most of us would probably feel like we need to become an expert carpenter, an architect, a structural engineer, and a material scientist all at once. We'd buy every book on treehouses, watch every DIY show, create elaborate blueprints. And then maybe, just maybe, years later, we might have a pile of wood and a very dusty plan.
You just described my life. My imaginary treehouse is currently suffering from analysis paralysis.
Right. Lean learning offers a different blueprint. It's a structured but flexible approach built on 4 essential steps. It's less about collecting all the knowledge in the world and more about intelligently applying just what you need right when you need it.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me about this blueprint, this process. What's the first step in building my imaginary or maybe even real treehouse?
The very first step, the foundation of lean learning, is to identify what you want to accomplish next. This sounds simple, but it's often where we get lost. With all the amazing things to learn and do in the world, from ice sculpting to coding or even baking that perfect sourdough, it's easy to be overwhelmed by possibilities.
Like standing in front of an endless buffet, but you can't decide which dish to try first, so you just starve.
A perfect analogy. Instead of that, think of this first step like setting your GPS for an exciting adventure. You wouldn't just jump in your car and start driving aimlessly, hoping to stumble upon a hidden treasure, would you? You'd decide where you want to go, right?
No, I'd punch in the address, or at least the general area.
Exactly. That's identify. It's about choosing a very specific destination or a clear solvable problem. Not a vague, I want to be healthier, but I want to be able to run a mile without stopping. Or I want to bake a simple loaf of bread this week. It's about cutting through the noise and practicing what we call selective curiosity, focusing on what truly ignites your passion for this specific goal.
So for my treehouse, instead of, I want an epic treehouse with a zip line and a hot tub, it would be more like, I want to build a sturdy, safe platform in that oak tree this month. Get super specific.
You've got it. That clarity, that specific next accomplishment, is your North Star. It filters out all the distracting information about hot tubs and zip lines that you don't need right now. It's about asking, what is the absolute smallest, most achievable thing I can do next that will move me closer to my bigger dream?
Okay, identify. Set the GPS. Makes sense. But then what? Once I know I want to build a platform, my brain still wants to buy all the lumber books and watch all the framing videos.
And that brings us to the second step. Learn only what you need to move forward. This is where we break free from the overlearner's trap. Remember my friend Pat, the author of this lean learning idea? He used to call himself an overlearner. He loved collecting information, like some people collect trading cards. He thought the more he knew, the more successful he'd be. But when he lost his job as an architect, all that accumulated knowledge didn't help him take action to build a new path.
I can relate. I feel like my brain is a giant digital storage unit for facts, but my doing muscles are atrophied.
Many of us feel that way. We've been taught that knowledge itself is power. But in today's world, where every answer is a quick search away, knowledge is no longer scarce. It's abundant, everywhere, constantly flowing at us. The real power isn't in collecting it all, but in curating it. So, for your treehouse platform, you don't need to learn everything about carpentry. You only need to learn the absolute minimum required to safely build that specific platform.
So instead of a whole library of books on structural engineering, I just look up how to securely attach a wooden beam to a tree without harming it. Is that the idea?
Exactly. Think of it like preparing for a camping trip. You wouldn't pack your entire house, right? You'd pack only the essentials you need for this specific trip: a tent, a sleeping bag, a flashlight, some food. Anything extra just weighs you down. In lean learning, extra information is mental weight that can slow you down or stop you completely.
So identify the destination, pack a light bag with only the essential gear. I'm starting to get it. What's next for my platform building adventure?
The third, and perhaps most crucial step, is to implement what you've learned. This is where the magic happens. It's the difference between just having a recipe and actually baking the bread. It's the difference between having a map and actually walking the trail. This is about putting on your builder's hat, grabbing your tools, and starting to saw that wood, to nail those boards, to actually construct that platform.
Ah, the doing part. The part where I usually get stuck because I'm still trying to find the perfect first nail.
And that's a common trap. Miss Jenny's young engineers didn't wait for the perfect sunshade design. They had a plan, they had some basic materials, and they started building. They were willing to experiment and learn as they went. They knew that progress, even imperfect progress, is far better than endless preparation.
So it's like if I were playing a video game, I wouldn't read every single strategy guide, watch every single walkthrough video, and then never actually play the game. I'd learn the basic controls, maybe watch a quick tutorial, and then dive into the first level.
Precisely. You learn the basic moves, you try them out, you probably fail a few times, but you keep playing. That playing is the implementation. It's through that active application that real learning truly begins. Information without action is just wasted potential.
So I identify the treehouse platform, I learn the minimum to attach a beam, then I actually go out and attach a beam, even if it's not perfectly straight the first time.
You're on fire, Alex. And that imperfect first beam brings us to our final core step: review and repeat to refine the process, deepen understanding, and enhance your skill.
That's not about giving up if the first attempt isn't perfect. It's about learning from what you've done.
So, my slightly crooked beam, I look at it, think about why it's crooked, and then try to make the next one better. Exactly. Think of it like a curious scientist. You form a hypothesis, you run an experiment, the implementation, and then you observe the results. If your platform wobbles a bit, you don't scrap the whole treehouse idea. You ask, why is it wobbling? What can I adjust? Should I add another brace? Use a different fastener? You review, you learn from the real-world feedback, and then you repeat the process with improvements.
Like practicing a new move in a sport. You try it, it doesn't quite work, your coach gives you some feedback, you adjust your posture, and you try it again and again until it's smooth.
A wonderful example. This cycle of identifying a clear goal, learning just enough, taking action, and then reviewing and refining your approach is the heartbeat of lean learning. It's how those young builders built their sunshade in a day. It's how you go from struggling with sourdough to baking beautiful loaves. It's how you go from just an idea of a treehouse to standing on a sturdy platform, then adding walls, a roof, and maybe even that zip line later on, one step at a time.
So it's not just a one-and-done thing. It's a continuous loop of learning and improving.
Absolutely. And within this powerful loop, there are other strategies that help us stay on track and maximize our growth. For instance, in lean learning, we emphasize the importance of having key champions, people who support you. Think of a sports team. You have coaches, teammates, mentors. These are the people who offer guidance, encouragement, and accountability, helping you when you get stuck or feel like giving up. You don't have to build your treehouse alone.
So finding someone who has built a treehouse before, or just a friend who's good at encouraging me to pick up a hammer?
Both. A mentor can show you the ropes, a coach can help you refine your technique, and a supportive community can cheer you on and share ideas. It makes the journey more enjoyable and much more effective.
What about when distractions creep in? My phone is a master of distraction. Or if I hit a snag, like finding out the type of wood I wanted isn't available.
That's where protecting your progress comes in. It's like having a shield in a video game. You learn strategies to guard your learning journey from setbacks and distractions. It means creating dedicated time for your treehouse project, putting your phone away, and having a plan for when things don't go perfectly. If that wood isn't available, how can you quickly find an alternative that still meets your minimum viable platform goal without falling into an endless research rabbit hole?
So it's about anticipating challenges and having a strategy to stay focused and adapt, rather than getting derailed.
Precisely. And sometimes, to really accelerate our growth, we need what's called voluntary force functions. This is about intentionally putting yourself in situations that force you to take action, even if it's a bit uncomfortable. It's like signing up for a race, even if you're not a runner yet, knowing that the commitment will make you train. For your treehouse, it might be inviting friends over next weekend to help, knowing you have to have that platform ready.
Oh, like when I told everyone I was going to bake sourdough this week, and now I have to or face their judgment? That's a powerful motivator.
It certainly is. It's choosing a challenge that pushes you, knowing the outcome will benefit you. It's not always fun, but it builds resilience and accelerates skill acquisition.
Okay, so I'm identifying my goal, learning just enough, building, reviewing, getting help from my champions, protecting my progress, and even forcing myself to do the hard bits. But what if, after all that, I realize the tree I picked for my treehouse actually isn't suitable? When do I stick with it and when do I change course?